What's up, Smoggers? Alright, so check it out. The reality is, I am going to continue to cover really big stories like the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing, but I'm not going to make an effort to make any videos about it outside of something like this, because the reality is the amount of effort that I make does not coincide with the amount of views that I get. And that's all because I'm not popping at all right now. My views and the amount of views that I get talking about super trending issues like Tekashi 6ix9ine is not worth the amount of effort that I put into making those Adobe Premiere type videos on them. You know, it takes a lot of time and effort to do that. So I'm basically, when it comes to super trending things like that, until I get bigger, I'm not going to bother making Adobe Premiere related videos on it like I have been doing. I'm just going to drop videos like this. So this is what King Smog thinks about the entire situation. I think that TMZ is entirely on track and on point when they say that this individual, that when they say that Tekashi 6ix9ine is snitching out people in his crew or people in Treyway. And that is because if you look at the video that I uploaded right before this one, I mentioned that days before TMZ even reported that they had information that he was going to be cooperating, they said that his lawyer got switched up on him and that they basically terminated that Lance Lazaro guy because of a conflict of interest. Apparently, Lance Lazaro at one point in time represented Shoddy. Now, I don't know if he represented him on this case or represented him on another case, but, you know, and I've had co-defendants before, so I know how this works. You know, I've had my public defender pull me aside and say, look, I can't represent you because I represented one of your crimies. Okay, so that is something that happens all throughout the country. Okay, when a lawyer has represented one of your co-defendants in that case or any other case before, they cannot represent you. It's called what they deem a conflict of interest. So because Tekashi 6ix9ine was in between lawyers, there's no doubt in my mind that the investigators ran up on him. They looked at it like, oh man, this is our chance. He's in between lawyers. We're gonna fucking run up on him, you know, sneaky as fuck, and, you know, probably doing it in a manner that is not legal, but they don't care because basically, you know, the way they went about it was probably they lied to him about his rights, and, you know, they lied, and they probably were able to corner him and sucker him real easy, because the reality is he's not that intelligent of a dude. He's super young. He's got his whole life ahead of him, and he's going to be more open to snitching on those dudes because they were trying to kill him. So he's going to be looking at it like, fuck those dudes, man. They were out trying to kill me. They were out trying to get my family. He talked about it right before he got busted on the Breakfast Club. He was saying that he was basically no longer Treyway. You know, he was separating himself from them. Now, I don't know if, who knows if he was separating himself from them because he knew shit was getting hot and that they were trying to take his life, or because they were taking his life, and I think it was a little bit of both. He knew this shit was hot because he was talking about the cops were looking at him, you know, they were parked up on the street. So, look, it's a little bit of both, man. He knew that they were trying to take his life, and he knew that this shit was getting hot. So, the reality is, the fact that he knew that that Treyway had turned their back on him, and they were trying to kill him, he's going to be more apt to snitch on that organization. Okay, that's another big thing that people need to keep in mind, all right? And the investigators ran up on him when his lawyers, when Lance Lazaro was removed from his case. Now, keep in mind, Lance Lazaro was the lawyer that he initially got It was, a big high profile lawyer, and this was the lawyer that was sending messages to the press saying that, nah, he's not gonna bend, he's not gonna fold, he's not gonna snitch. There's all that shit is bullshit. So he was forced to get off of that case because of a conflict of interest with one of Tekashi's co-defendants, Shotty. Okay, so there's no doubt in my mind that the investigators ran up on him at the perfect time, and that was when Tekashi 6ix9ine decided to throw it all out there and put everything on the table. When he was scared and when he didn't have any kind of representation to tell him otherwise, and so they got him pleading guilty to 9 separate counts, man. So, and I guess sentencing isn't actually coming up till January of 2020. So that's basically a whole nother year from now before people decide, or they decide his fate. And look, are any of his other co-defendants doing shit like that? No, not at all. They're probably thinking about taking it to the box, dude. And because he took that deal, it's gonna make them it's gonna make them look a lot worse when they have to go to trial. Their chances at going to trial are now a lot more slim because an individual that was involved in a case that they're affiliated with has actually already copped out and pled guilty and started snitching on motherfuckers. So that makes their likelihood of going to trial and winning at all slim to none. So chances are now, because Tekashi copped the deal, they're gonna cop a deal. Alright, man, that's all I gotta say. Like, comment, and shoot me a sub, man, please. And trust and believe that. They call me King Smog. I'm from Rancho Santa Margarita, and I want all the fucking smoke, homie. What's up? I'm coming for you, academics.